So here we are in our Wednesday mindful Pilates, and I want us to begin really mindful of the inner core. So make sure you're in a comfortable seated position where you can lengthen your spine. And if it's hard to sit up straight, sort of towards the front of your chair or on your block, then bring a ball in between the back of the chair and between your shoulder blades to give you support for the lift in the heart. And then tune in to your breath. Remember that we need a three-dimensional breath to really support the spine well. And in the modern day world, many of us have started to breathe with our chest and neck accessory muscles more than with our diaphragm. So we spend some time in Pilates waking up the diaphragm. So bring your hands to your belly. And breathe in and let your belly rise into your hands on your inhale. And relax away from your hands on the exhale. And just feel this kind of rise and fall at the belly. Now, too many women and girls in our culture have been taught to hold in their stomachs. Today, I'm asking you to let that go and breathe into your hands. We want to embrace all of ourselves and let the breath move fluidly into the body. Now bring your hands around to your side waists. And now breathe your hands broad. Breathe into your hands. Feel the lowest ribs expand side to side. Invite the breath deep into your waistline. And then if you'd like to, and you can, bring your fingers around towards the back. If that's not comfortable, maybe bring one hand back, one hand to the front. And breathe into your hands, the back body. Fluid breath. Today, I'm going to invite you to listen deep into the body. I'm leading a retreat this weekend on Sunday that's focused on deep listening as a way of life. Listen inward to your body and invite the low back to open with the breath. Breathe into your hands. And let feeling for these sensations be an act of listening deeply. Listening with the intention to care for the body. Now release your hands back into your lap and invite the whole circumference of your abdomen and low back to expand. Invite the whole body to pulse open on the inhale and to relax on the exhales. Thich Nhat Hanh says the greatest gift we can offer someone is our attention. I'm asking you to offer yourselves this intention today. This attention. Softening on the exhales. Feel what it's like to fill three-dimensionally on the inhales. And if this is challenging, hold yourself with compassion. I'm trying. I'm waking up my consciousness. It's all okay. Now feel into this lowest circle of ribs and invite it to expand three-dimensionally. And on your inhales, envision the diaphragm ballooning down into the abdomen. That's really what allows the abdomen to expand. And then visualize the diaphragm mushrooming up under the lungs to help you expel the air on the exhales. Feel for the movement in the back ribs and the side ribs. It may feel like a stretching sensation as you inhale the diaphragm down into the low back. Now take a fluid, three-dimensional inhale, and on your exhale, blow out through pursed lips, like you're blowing out through a straw. And then soften and fill on the inhale. And exhale through your straw again and again, feeling for what activates inside of you. Listen for the tension that awakens, for the muscular activation that happens, and then soften and invite yourself to fill on the inhales and feel the sensations of the inhale. Relax into your own awareness. On your next exhale through your straw, I invite you to gently lift the pelvic floor and activate your glutes towards the bone without tucking your tail or flattening your lumbar curve. Really feel inward. Notice the muscles that activate. And then release the exhale through the straw and go back to a gentle, full inhale and relaxed exhale. Relax the shoulders, the neck, and the jaw on the exhales. Even let the low jaw fall away from the upper jaw a little bit. Let your shoulder girdle ride the waves of breath like driftwood floating on the ocean. And see if throughout the practice you can come to awareness of the breath again and again. Let's make the intention of really listening to the internal landscape in class today. All right, let's come up to standing. And let's begin shaking the hands, releasing the finger joints, bouncing the knees gently, and feeling into the whole sole of the foot on the floor. Let the hands bounce. Let them bounce out to the side and back down. Bounce out and release down. Really trying to let go at the elbow, at the shoulder girdle. Let the bones bounce like you're a little marionette puppet and your puppeteer is just ready to have you dance. Let yourself bounce. Let the bones go and notice where it's hard to let go. And ask yourself, why am I gripping there? There may be a reason. And then pause and inhale. Float your arms up, palm facing palm, and root the right foot, lifting the right hand skyward. And then switch and lift left and switch. Inhale the stretch. Exhale the release. Inhale as you move side to side. Think of a cat when it wakes up in the morning, stretching itself out. Let yourself stretch. And then step your feet a little wider. Let your arms come down and reach side to side and float side to side. And now turn the palm up of the side you're reaching to and turn the palm down behind you and see, can I rotate and turn and float side to side? Coming into your snake with a little leg action today. Warming up the rotator cuff, so let the spin come all the way up to the arm bone. Don't force anything, invite it to open. And then come to center and roll one shoulder up, down, and back, and the other. And float still side to side, stretching the side body myofascia. Floating side to side. Fluid breath. Let the elbow come up if that's comfortable in your body. And circle it wide, stretching. And if that's okay, lift the arm and let the arm start circling. Fluid breath. Side to side. And then let yourself pause in the middle. Feel into both feet and float your left arm out, right arm forward, and come to the toe of the right foot. And then bend your knees and float to the other side. And bend and float and bend and float. Perhaps the foot can come off the ground, perhaps not. Let yourself float and float. Find your breath. Stay with the pattern. Maybe it's inhale, inhale, exhale, exhale. Oh, I have a little more. I'll exhale again. Then it's inhale, inhale. Find your own pattern. And feel how you can balance. And even if you're not fully balancing on one foot, how you can really weight the one leg and come towards that balance on one foot. And then pause, feet centered, and take your arms to the left, around, up, over, and down. Bend the knees and come back up overhead. And bend the knees. Your feet can turn out a little. Overhead. And release and reach. And release and reach. So we're coming a little towards squats. And you can come as low as is comfortable in your body. One more this direction. Reach to the top. Let the arms come down the other way. And lift. And release. And lift. And fluid with the breath. Releasing and lifting. Releasing and lifting. And pause. Bend your knees. Feet are turned out, open. Bring your hands to your hip creases and reach down the legs. You're slightly tilted forward and feel your feet on the ground. Take an inhale into the whole torso. Exhale, lift up onto the balls of the feet. Try to lift your heel and lower your heel, and lift your heel, and lower your heel. Lift to the balls or try to, and lower. And one more lift. See if you can hover a moment and lower. Pause in the squatted position, hands to the heart. Take an inhale, three-dimensional, and an exhale. Release your arms, keep the legs where they are. Inhale, reach skyward. Exhale, down the center channel. If this gets to be too much for your knees, straighten the legs. Inhale and exhale and reach and release and come up to standing and step your feet together and pause. Breathe into the whole circle of the lowest ribs. Breathe deep into the low back and belly. One more fluid breath. And then reach for your Theraband. Okay, long Theraband, please. And open it up. Right hand on your hip. Left hand forward. Heels either right under sit bones or a little wider if you'd like a little bit more of a base. Straight front arm. Really ground your right shoulder blade onto the back, down to your right buttock and heel, and then open the left arm. Find your left shoulder blade broad across the back body. So I've been doing more and more in-person privates, and I'm watching people's bodies, and this is some of the best work we're doing. If you're really broadening across the back body, and you're connecting from the buttocks to the heels, and then lifting the low rib ring, lifting the shoulder blades, lifting the base of the skull. Let the arm rest forward. Inhale. And then exhale, the arm open. Check in that your knees aren't hyperextended. Follow your breath. Inhaling forward. Exhale, open. Take it slow. Feel for the movement of the shoulder and the stability of the side that isn't moving. Feel into the stability connected to the pelvis and to the heels. And now open and pause, broad across the shoulder girdle, rest your hyoid bone in and up. See if you can float up to your toes and down to your heels, to your toes and your heels. Be strong across the back and release. And one more lift and release the arm forward and switch sides. We really want these back myofascial slings on board. Left hand to the hip, left shoulder blade on the back, right hand forward, palm up. Take the right arm open and then let it come forward. Exhale it open. Inhale it forward. Exhale, you could use your pursed lip breath to activate your core if you'd like to. You could blow out through your straw as you exhale and then inhale forward. The left shoulder blade stays on the back the whole time. The left shoulder stays stable as the right arm moves. And then exhale, open and hold. See if you can roll up onto the balls of your feet and release. See if you can keep the back strong, the head resting back as you roll to the toes and release, and roll up and release. And one more. And release the arm forward and roll your shoulders. And bring your Theraband up over the top of the head and take your arms wide. And take a deep three-dimensional inhale and exhale to one toe. And inhale, release. Exhale, other toe. Inhale, release. Exhale, the knee lifts. Inhale, release. Exhale, other knee. Now keep going. And if you'd like, blow through pursed lips and see, does that help you activate the pelvic floor and the transverse abdominis? Can you feel your core turn on? We want that internal core on before we activate the rectus abdominis or the obliques or the outer core. the beauty core, I'm going to call it, where people get their washboard tummy. Those muscles are kind of periphery. We want the internal core turned on to protect the spine first. Okay, now you can stay with these or lift to a toe and turn the knee out and turn the knee in and release, or lift the knee and turn the knee out, turn the knee in and release. You choose what's best for you and you breathe it. Inhale, inhale, exhale, exhale, inhale, inhale, exhale, exhale, inhale and exhale and inhale and exhale. One more, inhale and exhale. Stand tall on both feet, lengthen into the Theraband, lift your low rib ring, and take a few three-dimensional breaths. Keep lengthening. Now on your next three-dimensional breath, lift your pelvic floor and lengthen up along the spine. Exhale through pursed lips. Soften and inhale. Exhale, lengthen the spine. And inhale. Exhale through your pursed lips. And inhale. Now, take one foot back behind you. Activate your front abdominal core as a lift into the pelvis and along the front spine and hinge forward. Keep lengthening into your Theraband. Some of you may keep a toe on the ground. Some of you may be able to hinge all the way into Virabhadrasana 3. Stop anywhere that's best for you. And then unhinge. And take the other foot back. Take a deep inhale. Exhale through pursed lips and hinge as you're ready. Stay with a fluid breath even as you come into balance work. And then inhale back up and release the Theraband. Take it behind your low back ribs as a cummerbund around the rib cage and bring it forward. Inhale the hands forward, palms up in a kind of V like you're holding a platter. Rest your low ribs back into the Theraband. Breathe into the low back ribs. And then exhale, elbows into your sides. And inhale into the low back ribs as the Theraband pulls on them. And exhale. And inhale to a toe. And exhale. And inhale to a toe. And exhale. And perhaps inhale, lift a knee. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Keep going. Feel into really grounding the four corners of your foot as you lift your knee. And notice if it's easier on one side than the other. Then you might want to stay on the side that's harder and lift the opposite knee a few times so that you can really find grounding and begin to strengthen those arches. And then you might switch back. And then you might repeat the side that's harder to balance on a few times. Really having your body listen inward for, okay, where can I stabilize my foot? How do I connect that up my leg, through my spine and the top of my head? And then that leg might get tired of lifting, so you switch sides again. Okay, so I want you to make it your own. Know your body and think, okay, wow, I'm really asymmetrical in this ability of my work, so I'm going to stay with one side. And then release. Please pick up your hand weights. I didn't get mine out. And step to one side of your space. Arms up, humerus bone parallel to the floor, and bend your knees. And inhale, open. And exhale, just the arms closed. And inhale, open. So your legs are open wide, your knees are bent, you're in a bit of a squat. And we're going to stay here for a moment. Inhale and exhale and inhale and exhale. Inhale, lift the heart. exhale. One more. Inhale and exhale. Now inhale, open. And on the next exhale, bring your foot in. And then inhale, open. We stay here. And close. And open. And close. Inhale. Exhale. And inhale. And exhale. And one more. And as you close, bring the feet together and take your next step. And close. And inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale and exhale, and on your next step, bring the feet closed and switch directions whenever it's best for you. And inhale, exhale, and open and close, open and close, open and close. One more and step together and open, close, and inhale, exhale, and open and close. And this next time, step together and open and arms. And keep going with arms. Keep your breath going. And one more and close. Stay closed and lower your arms. And so you're in kind of an Utkatasana or a ski position. And let your arms swing. Gently swing. Now, let the right arm swing forward, left back. Swing, 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 swing. Keeping the knees bent, strengthening the quads. And then arms together, swing them up, ground your heels, reach for the sky. Open into your goalpost. And reach for the sky. And exhale, bend the knees, bend the elbows, and reach for the sky. And bend, and reach, and bend, and reach, bend, and reach, and pause, and lift to the toes, and lower the heels, and lift, and lower, and lift, and lower, lift, and lower, lift, and lower, heels lowered. Circle the hands, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Other way, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Pause. Three-dimensional inhale. Full exhale. One more three-dimensional inhale. Exhale through pursed lips and down. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Stay there. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Circle the other way down. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And pause. Take a few fluid breaths. Turn your palms forward. Find your shoulder blades on the back body. Cross each shoulder blade to the opposite buttock and bicep curl your arms, lift to a toe and release. Keep the heart lifted, other toe and release. Lift the knee and release, lift the knee. Now can you stay long in your spine? Lift the low ribs away from your pelvis as you work. Keep the shoulder blades on your back body and your head and hyoid bone resting back. And one more. And lower and take your arms out to a T. And lift to one toe. And see if you can lift the knee. And keep strong in the spine and lengthen the leg. And release. Take your arms out to a T, lift to the other toe. If you can, lift the knee. If you can, heart lifted, straighten the leg. Beautiful. And release. Take the left foot out to the side. And inhale, snow angel up. And exhale, release. And inhale, lift. Exhale, release. A few more here. Opening and closing and inhaling and exhaling. Last one. And we'll switch sides. Right toe out. Lengthen your side bodies and release. And inhale that height and exhale, release. Feel into the foot on the floor, really grounding the four corners, using the arches we've been strengthening. We lift and lower. We breathe. We feel into the body even as we move. And then come down. Arms come together, knees bend. So here's where you come. And then we take it to the other side. Arms come together, knees bend. We take it to the other side. And together and open and together and open and together and open. Move at your own pace. Beautiful. Last one. And come down. Roll your shoulders. And let's release the hand weights and come to lying on the floor. Okay, really nice standing work. I do feel like we're getting stronger as I watch you on the screen. Okay, please have your ball block and oov and your long Theraband and your hand weights. Oh, I also want you to have a bolster. So have a bolster nearby. If you don't have a bolster, have a stack of 2 blankets folded like a bolster. We will start with our series of 5 because I want you to start to get this like in your body so well that when you go traveling, if you can't get on Zoom, you'll remember just that and keep yourself going in the core. So right here, we'll nod tailbone towards earth, tailbone towards sky when you arrive. Just let your pelvis rock. And then let's add to this rocking action. Let's inhale, tailbone towards earth. Exhale through pursed lips, tailbone towards sky. Lift the tailbone, lift the sacrum off the floor like you're about to cat curl. And then inhale. Now, if those of you, some of you, actually, I think this is okay for most backs. Tailbone towards the floor on the inhale. Towards the sky, we exhale through pursed lips. Inhale into the whole circle of the ribs as you over accentuate your lumbar curve. Exhale, activate your abdominal core, your inner core. A few more times. Inhaling your back bend, exhaling as you flatten the lumbar curve. Now inhale into your neutral curve. Stay there and exhale through pursed lips. Now, on your next exhales through pursed lips, please lift your pelvic floor into the body. Do not flatten your lumbar curve. Put your hands on your belly and feel for what activates when you exhale through your pursed lips. Invite the glutes to hug into the bone without changing the shape of the lumbar spine. And float one leg into tabletop and the other leg to join it. Draw your right knee into the chest, lengthen the left leg out. Now feel into your pelvis. A lot of times as we draw this knee in, we hitch the same side pelvis up and we totally misorient the sacrum and the pelvis. So try to keep your pelvis aligned, even if that means your knee's a little farther away from you. And switch and switch. Nod your nose towards your mouth, almost lift from your hairline or lift up. And we switch and switch and switch and switch. Find a pattern for your breath. Reach that long leg long, like you're going to push a button with your toe. Push and push. Likewise, hug the leg in without moving the pelvis a lot. We reach and reach and reach and reach, and then hug both legs in. Reach hands and feet for the sky. Zip up the inner thighs. Toes open to hold a tennis ball. Take your wrists away from your ankles. Don't flare the ribs. Stop before you flare and hold. Feel into your lumbar curve. Circle the arms and hug the knees. Inhale, heels stay locked. Reach out and hug in. Inhale out and exhale in. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Last one. Reach and hug. Take the right leg overhead, left leg long, and pulse, pulse, and switch. Pulse, pulse. Some of you will lift the head towards the shin. Pulse, 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 pulse. Long spine. Feel into a really controlled pulse. It's very small. Your toes only move an inch or two. And then bring your heels together. Bend your knees. Shoulders grounded, toe dip one toe, and exhale up. The other side, and exhale up. Shoulders grounded. Exhale up. Exhale up. Good. Now you can stay with these single legs or ground the shoulders and the low ribs and toe dip both feet. Know what's best in your body. Inhale down and smoothly exhale up. If you'd like to, exhale through pursed lips. See if that helps you activate your core. Alternate. Exhaling through your pursed lips one round and exhaling through your nostrils the other. And hug your knees in and circle them wide and back together again. This is a good, powerful series of 5 that we're doing. Take your circles the other direction, pumping the lymph, releasing synovial fluid. And then the last of our series of 5, hands behind the head, one on top of the other. And we exhale, lift the elbow, lengthen the leg on the same side. Hold that. Rest your head back. Try to lengthen the spine. Reach the lifted sides, low ribs towards the opposite side hip pointer. And switch and hold. Again, rest into it, lengthen it. Find the rib to hip pointer connection. And switch, and switch, and switch, and switch. Lift the shoulder blade up off the floor if you can, but the elbow goes straight skyward. It doesn't try to reach for the opposite knee. We're not flopping the body side to side. We're using our strength, not momentum. And do a few more. Really lift the elbow as high as you can. Reach that toe as long as you can. And come back to center. Rest the head back and float one foot to the floor and then the other. Press your pillow out. Bring your humerus bones parallel to the torso, palms facing each other across the body. Lift your pelvis. And hug your sit bones towards each other. Feel your glutes come to life. And come back to your 3-dimensional breath. So can you hug your glutes in, hug the sit bones towards each other. Press back into the humerus bones evenly and breathe 3-dimensionally into the torso. Now, while you're here, concentrating on that hug of the sit bones, the press of the humerus bones, and the breath. Feel into your body, noticing pleasant, unpleasant, and neutral sensations. Try to notice each type. And then release the sit bones and lower the pelvis to the floor. Raise your right ankle up over your left femur bone. Some of you will stay here. Some of you may put a yoga block or your ball or bolster under a lifted foot, and some of you will draw the legs in towards the chest, wrapping your hands around the femur bone of the uncrossed leg. Then gently rock the pelvis a little side to side, finding your stretch of choice and settling in. Remember, don't take the stretch to the point where it grips back. Take the stretch to the point where you can breathe into it and relax the tissue on the exhales. Relax your face, your jaw, your neck, and shoulders. This will help the hip to relax. The body is a community. Breathe deep into the belly. And then slowly release your legs back to the floor before you take the top foot off the knee. And then switch sides. Exhale, lift to your position. Keeping the foot that's crossed over the femur bone flexed gently to support the knee. Rock the hips side to side until you find the stretch where you want to pause and breathe today. Try to relax the whole body on the exhales except for that one flexed foot. Relax the face and the shoulders and the belly. Breathe deeply without strain, relaxing on your exhales. And then release, foot to the floor, other foot to the floor, and nod your pelvis. Tailbone toward earth, tailbone towards sky. Notice if there's any difference now in the body as you rock. And then go into your somatic walking, pressing into one foot, lift the same side hip a little bit. Lower it down, press into the other foot, lift the other hip. And rock across the pelvis, side to side. Your knees don't go sideways, they go straight out over the toes as you press into the foot and lift the hip. So it's called somatic walking. Feel into the body as you move, listening for parts that you're not aware of, speaking. And let these parts know, I see you. I see you today. Thanks for being a part of this whole catastrophe. Just kidding. This whole experience of life. Come back to center. And let's roll ourselves over. And today, I'd like you to either come up onto two folded blankets or up onto your bolster for a little bit of back strengthening work. Now, those of you who don't back bend, you won't do the back bend portions, but you can do the drawing shoulder blades onto the back body with your body supported if that feels okay. If not, you could come back to any of the work we've done previously today, okay? Or any exercises you know you're supposed to do with your physical therapist. So lay your front ribs on the front of the bolster. Make sure they're on the bolster and they're supported, but your chest can come out over the top of the bolster. Bring a block under your forehead and bring your forearms parallel to each other, elbows under shoulders. If it's available to you, turn your toes under. If not, you may be able to do the work from flat feet a little bit. And as you're ready, press down into the forearms. Imagine helium balloons lifting your pelvis, your navel, your low back rib ring, and lift into a low plank. You may or may not lift off your bolster or blanket pile. And pause here, coming back to your breath, feeling into the body for pleasant, neutral, as well as unpleasant sensations. You may nod your head a little to see if you can make it more comfortable. Check in even here that you're not hyperextending knees. And then lower yourselves back down. Reach your arms wide in front of you and put your fingertips on the floor, lifting your palms. Draw the hands back as you reach the tailbone for your heels and lift the heart slightly. Those of you who don't back bend, just lift your feet off the ground and stay as parallel as you can. Those of you who've come into the baby cobra, see if you can lift your hands off the ground. Those of you who are staying parallel, you can see if you can lift your hands off the ground too. Strengthening the back body. And then release back down, either into your low plank position or bring your hands under your shoulders for chaturanga. The humerus bones are parallel to your torso. The elbows aren't jutting out to the side. We press the hands down, stay broad across the collarbones, and lift or almost lift off the bolster with those helium balloons lifting pelvis, navel, low ribs. Long plank. Low plank. And then release. So if you're able to back bend, draw your hands back, reach the tailbone long for your heels, and float the spine up, lifting your heart. Cobra. And then exhale, lengthen back down. Bring your hands to your sides, palms down, thumbs out. Everybody can float their feet up, parallel to the torso. Lift your navel in to support the spine, just energy up the front of the spine there. Find your shoulder blades on your back body. Think of the Theraband work we did. Lengthen the neck. And those of you who can back bend, lift the heart, lift the heels. Those of you who don't back bend, just stay in that upper body strengthening, shoulder blades on the back position. Now everybody, lower your hands towards the floor and lift them. You can turn your palms to face your hips and lower the index finger to touch the floor and lift the pinky towards the sky. A few more times. Lower the hands and lift. We're strengthening the rhomboids. Lower the hands and lift. Lower the hands and lift. You can be in Salambhasana or just straight. One more. And then bring your hands under your shoulders and roll up to tabletop, removing the bolster. Okay. So I want us to do a little more back strengthening work lying down this next year. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips. Inhale. Open your heart in a cow. And exhale into the cat and pause in the cat. Come back to your three-dimensional breath and invite it into the low back. Really try to expand the low back. Relax into the stretch. If you'd like to, take your sit bones a little closer to your heels, then do so. And then come back up to tabletop and take your right hand forward and your left toes back. And float your left hand and right toes up and pause in balance. Again, think of your back myofascial slings. Try to connect shoulder to hip. Think of the front core that you worked, particularly with that oblique work. Think of the square hip pointers to ribs and the cross across. Let both of those things strengthen you towards balance. and release. Take the left hand or the right hand forward, left toes back, and float up. You're just parallel to the floor, not coming into a back bend. We're strengthening the multifidi, but also feel into those myofascial slings across your abdomen and across your back body. And release and roll back towards your child's pose. Taking a deep inhale into the torso. Plant your hands, roll your toes under, and lift to downward dog. Bent knees at first so you can get that long spine, and then perhaps take your femur bones back. Really activate the pelvic floor, your front abdominal core, and either just put more weight on one foot to feel that, or float one leg up. Try to stay balanced across your shoulder girdle. And then float that side down and float the other side up. Stay balanced across your pelvis and float that side down. And then walk your dog, bending one knee and then the other, luxuriating in the stretch. Three-dimensional breath. Staying very conscious in your inner landscape. What is it that you notice? And then walk your feet in. Bend your knees, rest your torso on your femur bones, and pause in this standing child's pose. Look down at your feet. Second metatarsals parallel unless you know otherwise. And then if you'd like to, lift your sit bones skyward. Try to keep the torso on your femurs. Fluid breath. Now today, you can bend the knees again and unhinge like we normally do, or bend the knees slightly. And those of you who can roll up, activate your core through your pursed lip breath and lift one vertebrae after another, rolling yourselves up. And come to standing. Pause in your mountain pose. Feel into this inner landscape and what you've awakened in the practice today. And bring your left foot in so that the heel rests on the inner inside of the right leg. Open your branches and see if you can lift your toes. You may hug the glutes in, lift the pelvic floor, move your branches in the breeze. Let them flow, stabilizing your roots. Some of you may be able to lift the knee a little higher, like some of your trunk and roots are lifting up. Can imagine that you're an aspen and now you're going to extend those roots and start another tree. All right, and then bring the knee forward and step down. Step the other foot in, hug the midline. So all this work that we've done, lift the pelvic floor, lengthen the spine, and lift your toes. Feel into the foot as it moves to find balance. And ask yourself, where can I help it stabilize and how? And let yourself just be curious, adventurous as you explore how to balance. You can stay here or lift that knee higher. And then bring the knee forward and step down. Heels together. Let's inhale and lift. And keeping the arms lifted, bend the knees, lower the heels and zip up and lift. Bend, lower and zip and lift. Bend, lower and zip. Now bend, lift, zip and lower and bend, lift, zip and lower. Open the arms just some so they still circle skyward, and bend the knees and lift the heels and lower the heels and lift the heels and lower the heels and lift the heels and zip and lower and lift and lower and lift and lower and lift and bend the knees and lower the heels and zip it up and let your arms circle down around your pelvis and take the left foot forward slightly. And with your arms lifting, lift the leg, keep the heart lifted. Lift, 2, 3, and 4, and hold. Bend the knee, touch the shin with your toe, and straighten and bend and straighten and bend and straighten and bend and step down. Other side, we'll take the right foot out, and with the arms, we'll lift and lower and lift and lower, lift and lower and lift and lower, lift and hold. Bend the foot in and lengthen the leg. Bend and lengthen, bend and lengthen, bend and lengthen, and step down. And let's inhale and draw good energy into our bodies. Let's inhale in and acknowledge the good work we've done in our bodies this morning. And let's inhale and hope that energy ripples out to other people on this Wednesday. Thank you. Okay.